are told since we're small that when a man loves you, you know it. He will step up no matter what he's doing. He will make time for you. You are his number one. And we're told many times to look for that, because if he's not doing that, we actually use that as one of the bars of whether to decide if this guy is into us or not. When you're dating a single dad, though, this rule looks different. It's more complicated. As a licensed counselor who work mostly as a sex therapist with men, I think it's important that we talk about how it is dating a single dad. Because a lot of the women clients I see are asking questions like, will he ever make time for me? When he says he has to go slow, what does that mean? He's hurt me before, but how can I keep from becoming a past problem? Something else contributing to his issues with the kids. How do we look at the future together? How do we even plan it? And these questions are really good questions to ask in a relationship. But when you're with a single dad, it can become more frustrating, because men are socialized to think, I'm not going to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable is to be weak. And if we've ever need men to be more vulnerable, it's during the time they're dating, especially if they have kids. By the way, that whole thing about being weak when you're vulnerable is untrue. It is a myth. I don't know how it started. Being vulnerable is the most courageous thing you can do. But going on to this. So when you're a woman and you're dating a single dad, I think it's most important to understand first and foremost, yes, you do need time together for the relationship to work, uninterrupted time with the two of you, but you don't need all of it. And you're not going to get all of it. Why? Because his kids are always going to come first. You want that. You want that because if your relationship grows and you guys end up getting married and then having your own kids, you want to know you got a really good dad for them, that your husband is it. He is fantastic. So try to support that. But if he starts making excuses for you that he can't see you because of his kids, that's another thing. Then you have to really step up and look at it. Secondly, his kids are a gift, but they're not a burden. A dad who has kids will still make time to do the things he needs to do, like work out, like work. He's going to make sure, in fact, I think he's a little bit better than a lot of single moms are at time management and taking care of themselves. So even though his kids are important to him, he does have the ability to make time. He is probably more organized with that than you can even believe. But the bottom line you need to know is that if you love his kids, then it's possible for you to have a relationship with him. If you are indifferent or you don't like his kids, it's going to be a struggle. And if you put him in that situation, he may make excuses and may even lie to you about why he can't see you. But the bottom line is that he didn't feel your support with his kids. So if you don't like his kids, be honest with yourself and don't force yourself onto that or this relationship. Closeness takes time and effort. I mean, to get close to someone, then you have to do these little things. They're micro communications. There are ways of showing a lot of care and love in small things. Like when you're together as a guy, still being a good partner for her. Or for the ladies, when you're with him, being able to be independent and do things on your own. You won't right away become part of his family with his kids. He needs that time. But at the same time, that shouldn't be a time when you become sulky or resentful. If you guys are working together to show small actions, maybe you bring each other a coffee, or you do the little things. You're there when he needs to talk at 11 o'clock at night, long after the kids have gone to bed, and he's feeling nervous or he's feeling agitated. It's these little micro connections that show that the two of you have potential for the future. And I think realizing that his kids are first, but there is room for you, that you are a bonus person. If he can embrace that, and if he starts believing that, and if you go into it believing that, being that person that basically this family needs, that this family is going to prosper from, then I think it's ideal. Don't expect it to go fast, and don't expect more from the kids than what you're going to get. Kids will warm up to you slowly, and just like your partner is going to test you to see where you really are with him and with his kids, the kids are going to test you, and they will. That many times they'll regress in their behavior, many times they'll cling to their dad more if they feel your closeness or that he really cares about you, rather than reacting or getting upset or taking it out on him. Start thinking about what you want. What does the relationship mean to you? Is this something you think you can work on? If it is, then I, by all means, think it's really worth it. Because I really believe that sometimes, even though I don't like it, divorce has to happen. And when it does, and the parent is single, and they're looking for a potential mate, that if you're the person that ends up joining that family, you're in a place of honor. I think that's an incredible place to be. But don't abuse it, and don't ever exploit anybody in it. You have to be really emotionally mature to make this work. I hope this helps you going forward.